Hi, this is Jeremy Lee, and you're watching Pcuspard.
Hey everybody, it's Pcuspard! And while I would love to constantly talk about all the great things about Neptunia, as a later video will suggest, not everything about this franchise is great. Some of these characters are very lackluster or just flat out unenjoyable due to the problems they have. My only rule for this list is no Cyber Dimension characters. The game's not out yet in English, so I have no idea what these new characters are saying. So let's start on this list.
This is all I have! Limiter release! Max beam output!
Let's start this list off right, with my favorite color personified as an annoying waifu hunter. Honestly, Red is quite annoying in her search for various waifus across the land of game industry, coming across as incredibly possessive as she doesn't really have a reason why she's hunting waifus. She just kinda does it because she wants to. Okay. At least she doesn't get many lines in the game, as she later gets obstructed by the actually important characters. And it kinda makes sense why Red's a waifu hunter after all, enjoying shipping and whatnot. The company she's based on did some work on Fire Emblem Awakening.
This is all I have! Limiter release! Max beam output!
I feel like spin-offs give the characters a bad rep. Though this has only ever gotten so bad in the protagonist of Hyper Devotion Noir Goddess Blackheart. Trust me, I have a lot to say about this game, though the worst part about that game is its protagonist. Noir seems incredibly overpowered here, as it was made clear in most dimensions that Neptune is the strongest CPU, as it took 3 CPUs to barely get her out of Celestia in the first game. And yet, with all that power, that makes this Noir lose her ability to truly think clearly, as she was easily fooled by Ino to mess up Game Market, with her hot-headed attitude causing her to be careless. And she won this world's console war? Seriously? Honestly, the other Noirs I'm not that big of a fan of, but this one's just the worst. And it's upsetting since this is her actual game.
This is all I have! Limiter release! Max beam output!
I've gone on before about how I dislike seemingly annoying characters. I've also gone on about how I hate missed potential. Agnes is both of these. Agnes is first introduced in Chapter 1 to harass Plutia for being a CPU, only to get defeated by Neptune. Everybody always comments on how she looks very much like a kid, but Agnes always responds with the same, "I'm an adult!" Okay, where do I begin? To start with, her whole character seems to be based off of Agnes-chan from a fake branch of UNICEF, which Japanese netizens called feminazi, which is definitely implemented here, as Agnes gets on the CPU's case for apparently supporting the labor of little girls. What? However, this character could have been so much better! Like I said before, everybody comments on how Agnes looks like a kid, and well, she does. However, she constantly says she's older than she looks. Maybe, and I'm just spitballing here, Agnes was one of the first children the Seven Sages kidnapped in order to create their own CPU, met a similar end that Ray Wrights did, but decided to stick around with the Seven Sages in order to stop this from happening to other little girls. This would make her vendetta against the CPUs make much more sense, and make the moment Agnes leaves the Seven Sages all the better. But they didn't! So much missed potential!
This is all I have! Limiter release! Max beam output!
IF is such a cool character, and the idea of her traveling through time to stop an apocalypse sounds awesome! And, she has to bring Segami along with her. Segami is not a pleasure to have around. Segami suffers from tsundere syndrome as she acts all high and mighty, acts like an annoyance to the other characters. Oh, and she has amnesia. Oh, and it turns out she's a god! She's the god of the Sega Hard Girls. Of course she is. I just like Segami for her attitude and how annoying it gets. And while this doesn't sound as bad as I made Agnes out to be in number 3, but the thing is, Agnes isn't the protagonist of her game. Segami is! That means you have to deal with her for the whole game. So that's fun. IF is definitely a better protagonist for this game than Segami. Plus her ability to transform in other Sega Hard Girls isn't just glossed over in the story, but also in gameplay! She can transform into any of the 4 Sega girls in the game, and yet this doesn't raise her stats like it does for Burning IF or any of the CPU's HDD. It just changes her abilities. So you begin to question what the point is. Later on, I'm gonna talk about how I feel like Neptunia spin-offs do better with a group of protagonists rather than just a single protagonist. But this game could have just been a solo IF game with Segami playing as big of a role as she played here, but not being the focal point.
Hey guys, my name is GalaxyDuck, and I guess my honorable mention is Pishi from the anime, and anime only, because I have not played the 3rd game, I think it was, and I'm probably not going to be able to for a long time, but that's besides the point. Pishi's my least favorite character because she's just, I guess, kind of like just fan service. Yes, that's in the Tuna series, but what isn't? She outclasses for one of my favorite characters, and all she is basically just a plot device. And a super it sticks out like a Thor thumb plot device. I don't know if that's the best reasons, but that's my reasons. Thank you.
Let's hear them! Go!
Uni sucks! In general. Uni's story in Rebirth 2 is similar to Noir's in Rebirth 1. The Neps party goes to Last Station, they run into the Last Station CPU, tend to bond at first, though when Uni finds out Nepgear's a CPU candidate, she lashes out, transforms, and fights Nepgear. And yet, after you beat her, she doesn't join, because apparently, she thinks she's weak. And yet, even after working with Nepgear and Leanbach, she still doesn't join. At least with Ram and Ram, it made sense why they wouldn't work with Nepgear. Ram barely knew her and confused her as an invader, and well, even though Ram's an excellent support, she's also an enabler for Ram. But with Uni, there's no excuse other than, I don't wanna. Her character is so unoriginal compared to Noir. With other candidates, you can tell the difference and see why it works with their relationship. Neptune is all over the place, so it makes sense to have the straight man Nepgear to balance out that insanity. Blonde is hard to open up to which Ram is able to open up to Blonde's quiet side, whereas Ram unleashes the Kraken. However, the only real difference between Noir and Uni is that, well, Uni wants to look good for her sister, and, well, Noir's too busy to notice. Other than that, they are literally the exact same character, without the logic and reasoning that made Noir manageable. I'm Pcuspard, and...
Freeze, bitch!
Okay, fine, that part's cool. Man, Mega Dimension Neptunia V2 makes everything better. Oh, shit, that's right. Guys, I recently made a server on Discord. It's called Game Industry on Earth. It's for all the Nep memes. I'm Top Nep, and Nebulordis the Gust Iffy. That's right. Alright, so if you want to join that, then go ahead. The link's in the description. You can go ahead and check us out there. It'll be fun times for everyone. Please follow the rules.